So are you ready for people to hug you? Are you comfortable with this? Do you need a hug right now? We want to know your opinion on this. There's a company, they started passing these out now that business conferences are happening again. And everybody that attends the event gets to choose their color of a wristband. A red or a green or a yellow. The red wristband means keep your social distance from me. I am not ready in this post-pandemic world. The yellow means like, I'm okay with like an elbow bump. Like, do that. Green is like, go. You can shake my hand. You can give me a hug. Which color wristband would you wear? Are you ready to get the hugs? What do you think?
It's a tough question for me because in my own house with my family and my wife and my kids and friends, I'm a green. Go for it all.
Green. Okay. Well, yeah.
You know,
but like out in public among strangers.
First of all, I'm not going to wear a wristband, but I don't know. I'm okay with high fives, handshakes, you know, not that I'm opposed to hugs. I just think that a handshake or a high five says a whole lot.
Okay. I'm green. I would wear the hugs.
If somebody needs a hug. If somebody,
if they like came up to you, be like, Matt, I really need a hug today.
Oh, I'm all for it. Yeah, I would definitely do it for sure.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm that person that would wear the green. And I'm also that person that needs other people to wear wristbands because I'm afraid that I make people uncomfortable with going in for the hug. Like, I always like going, oh, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you for like a year since the pandemic. So I'm like, let's get a hug. And then a couple times I've seen people go like, whoa, like this lady's crazy.
I feel like that's a risk you need to take because
like
everybody needs a hug.
Yes.
Okay. It's kind of like prayer. When you ask somebody, do you need prayer? Whether they say yes or not, they need prayer. Everybody benefits from prayer.
But you just said you didn't want hugs from everybody.
That's me. I get plenty of hugs from home. I'm not saying I'd be uncomfortable if somebody wanted really to hug Matt.
Yeah,
then I'd be okay with it.
Okay.
You know, if it's good for you, then it's good for me.
Only if you needed it. Like, look, I don't need a hug today. I'm good. But maybe someday when you need one.
Yeah.
See, I don't even, like, I just am always accepting of them. Except, you know what? There's one kind of hug I don't like. I don't like the hug lift. Have you ever had somebody do that? I think
I
men
don't like
do that to women.
It's not a fun experience.
Yeah, it's like when somebody hugs you and then they try to lift you up because they lift back with a hug. And I'm like, what are you trying to say?
Why do they do that, Amanda?
I think it's like to see in my mind, which is wrong. This is how messed up my mind is. I'm like, is he trying to see if I've like gained a bunch of weight?
Wow.
Since the pandemic, like how much I weigh? Is he trying to guess how much I weigh right now? Isn't that weird?
Maybe he's just trying to show how strong he is. Like
Is
we
that
have
why
that World's
guys do
Strongest
that?
Man competition. Now, if we were down in Old Sacramento and you had the World's Strongest Man and he could lift you up over his head,
feel so
that's
skinny.
another story, right?
I would feel so skinny. I'd be like, yeah, let's do that.
But what about like the Christian side hug? I remember when I was single and that was the only thing you could do. No, you know, body to body hugs with with singles of the opposite sex. You got to do the side hugs. That's the appropriate thing to do.
I think it's weird. And I feel like I can say this just because I grew up in the church. You know, like I grew up going 3 days a week to the church, and I feel like that's one of the weird things that Christian people do that make us look weird to everybody else is the side hug. I'm like, that's just a weird, like, why are you giving me a side hug? Like, I would feel offended.
Really?
If somebody just gave me like a half hug. I'm like, no. Like, we're people. We're
you consider it a half hug. A half hug.
It's a half
That's
hug.
Another term for it. It's not a side hug. It's actually a half a hug.
Like, are you going to be not like? Might as well not even give me.
I
would rather have nothing.
Just a handshake or something.
Yeah, I would rather have nothing than a side hug, in my opinion. But that's just me.
Amanda.
So no
hilarious.
lifting hugs.
It's good to know.
No side hugs. Just go all in.
Now, what about those people from the other side of the ocean, the Europeans?
Oh, okay.
Where my people come from, France, who like to not only come in for a hug, but they like to do a little kissy kiss on the cheek.
I'm good.
Are you okay with that? Seriously?
I'm my best friend, her boyfriend, when they come over for dinner at my house, he is Europeanish. He's a musician. And so he goes in for the hug.
He's a musician.
He does a peck on the cheek. He gives me a peck on the cheek.
Like with his lips, not just like an air kiss.
Correct. Like lips touch the cheek.
Wow.
And I think that's nice. I'm all for it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm all
And
for
his
it.
girlfriend's okay with that too?
Yeah, Maria, she's like my best friend.
Okay,
I live 2
cool.
houses down, so we're totally comfortable with that. Here's one. Have you noticed that they're, speaking of like Christian hugs?
Hi, Carrie. Hold on. Let me tell
Yes.
Carrie something real quick.
Okay.
Carrie says she always asks permission before touching another person.
You're right. That's
Some
a
of
good
us
thing.
are uncomfortable with the touch. And she said, yes, I'm half Sicilian and we hug and kiss constantly.
Oh.
But how do you ask somebody? Like,
do-
That seems even more awkward. I'd rather not even hug the person if I have to ask them, like, hey, is it okay if I hug you?
I think now in the time that we're in, you have to do that.
Really?
And I think it makes sense. It doesn't seem like an awkward question, because I saw a woman at the grocery store that I probably haven't seen in a year since the pandemic. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I did this. And then I went, can I hug you? And she goes, yeah. And then my arms were already out. Like I was already halfway in.
Yeah.
But I think that's a respectful thing to
True.
do.
Good
yeah.
point.
Can I hug you? Great. Okay, let's hug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I notice men hugging each other more now. Maybe it's a Christian church
It is
thing.
a Christian thing, and I have an
another-
issue with
it's
it,
a
Amanda,
new-
here that I'd like to talk about.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's 5-10 years ago where Christian guys, started hugging more each other. Right. And I'm not like,
because you're all like in touch with your feelings.
I guess it's
like you're trying to learn this empathy thing.
and they've been reading the Bible about Jesus talking
Okay.
about greeting each other, our brothers, with a kiss, a hug and a kiss.
Oh,
I think
okay.
that's maybe where they're getting it from.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, I get if we've sat down and we've had a long, deep discussion talking about the challenges in our lives, our
Yeah.
emotional issues
Okay.
and stuff, and then afterwards we want to embrace with a
Okay.
hug, then okay. But just coming up and saying hello, I don't feel like we need to hug. There's a lot to say with a nice, firm handshake.
Okay.
Hey, how's it going, buddy? Hi, Robert. What's up,
Going.
buddy? Like a hug, I don't know. It's just, it seems like it's more of a feminine thing. Girls,
We
women,
hug each
you do it
other.
all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just
Always.
seems odd. Maybe it's just
I
me.
would
Maybe
be
I'm awkward.
offended if a friend of mine that's a woman would go in and want to shake my hand. I'd be like, that's weird.
I
Like,
know.
what, like,
it
is she
would
in
be.
a
That
bad
is funny.
mood?
Well, that's what makes us different. That's what makes us unique. Guys, we do nice, firm handshakes.
Oh, nice
I
to
remember
see
when
you.
I was, I don't know, a teenager, a guy taught me, hey, buddy, you got to learn to do a nice, firm handshake. That's what men do. Nice, firm handshake.
We have to relearn that. We have to reteach. I have to reteach my kids
how to do
about
a nice, firm,
handshakes.
like Andy. Yeah. You got
Yeah.
to teach him a nice,
He
firm
was
handshake.
in there, and then for a while I was like, hey, like we got to ixnay on the handshakes.
Right.
Because of, it's called this pandemic. He'll get back.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I've ever hugged you, so I think we're safe. But now I'm thankful to know
What's
that
hilarious
would not be
about
something
this?
that you would appreciate.
See, physical touch is like one of my top love languages.
Yeah.
I really love physical
Mine
touch.
too. Yeah.
But I think I just enjoy it with people that I know, that I'm close with.
So I would label that like a selective physical toucher.
Right.
All right. Well, when I see you at Ladies Night Out, by the way, we're so excited that
Yes.
we're able to get together.
Great.
When I see you at Ladies Night Out, I would love to give you a hug if that would be acceptable to you. And I will ask you, but just go on in for it because I'm fine.
And if you see me at Ladies Night Out, one, I'm allowed to be there, even though I'm not a lady,
Because you're
because I'm
doing
helping
the
with the
event,
event.
yeah.
And I'm going to be super busy running around. So don't be offended if
he
I
doesn't
don't hug
yes.
or I don't stop and have a convetion with you. If you just, hey, Matt, and I'll say, oh, hey. Don't be offended.
That's all you
I would
need.
love to sit and have a conversation with you, but I'm just really busy. So what I would say is, hey, go find Amanda. She wants
will
a
give
big
you a
hug. Give her a nice big squeeze.
That's good. That's what co-hosts
Don't let
can
her
do.
go until she says.
But don't lift me.
Yeah. But if you can, that would be pretty cool, actually.
Hey, no. Okay. Tickets are on sale for that, by the way, right now. Just go to thefishsacramento.com. I'll put up a link for you, and you can get those at a deal. There's like a deal.
Yeah,
right now.
$18.75. That's a sweet deal. When you get a 4-pack, you can get tickets for $18.75. You can invite your mom, your sister, your daughter, your girlfriends. Real quick, David said that he is a hugger, but he's also a firm handshaker. So I agree.
Okay.
There's a balance there.
Whichever one.
Yeah, it just
But
depends on the person.
I like that, David, but he goes all in. either
Should you
way.
hug your boss? That could be a different topic altogether. I have never hugged. No, that's not true.
Depends on
I
the
have
boss.
hugged my boss a number of times.
Yeah.
I have. But guess what? It was after a deep conversation. It wasn't like, good morning, happy Monday, and was a big hug. It was after we'd had a deep conversation in his office where I was probably written up or reprimanded or something.
Did you do one of
and he wanted me to feel good.
The guy hug with a double tap. It's like,
oh, you got to do the double tap.
Like women don't. It's like,
you
hug,
don't?
hit, and then you're done.
That's how you know.
So weird. It's so weird.
The tap is when you know it's over. You gotta have an indicator.
I'm gonna touch you, but I'm gonna give you the indicator that it's not for long. Is that what it is?
Carrie said no hugging at work.
No hugging at work.
That's a good policy.
Carrie
probably.
must be in HR.
Yeah. It's different. I think in a Christian environment, we might have different rules.
Yeah.
But I don't know that everybody follows those. But from an HR perspective, they probably do have some kind of policy where you're not supposed to hug your coworkers at work. Isn't that crazy? So when you're wearing that wristband, it probably does not apply in the workplace.
In the workplace.
Yes.
Okay. So, okay.
Just remember that.
We will say that. Yes.
Right.
Especially if HR is watching our video.
Yeah.
I don't hug in the workplace.
When we're at Ladies Night Out, you're allowed to hug the listeners. You are not allowed to hug
the
coworkers. Right.
Well, I see you guys every day.
There's a strict rule that we will outline and we'll post it on our website. All the rules of hugging.
Sign on the dotted line and everything else. All right. Have a wonderful day. And I hope you're enjoying this gorgeous 75-degree Sacramento summer day. What a rare treat.
Nice.
And get your tickets for Ladies Night Out because those are going to go fast at the Fish Sacramento. All right. Bye.